Okay, so this is a fun one. What does it look like? Well, it looks like there's a bunch of mushrooms here. And I've already cut the shallots and the garlic because I think y'all have seen me enough cutting things that you don't need it anymore. I am going to briefly go through the mushrooms though. So this is going to be a mushroom risotto. I'm popping the bottoms off, giving them a wipe down. If there's any dirt on it, I just try and clean it off because people don't typically want to eat dirt. Small children do. So I pop off the bottoms, wipe it down. You can see where the dirt is. I mean, it actually gets on your hands. Ooh, look at that. I touch you. I touch you. Yeah. You know, I wish you'd take this whole cooking thing seriously. So a risotto is a kind of rice. It's a very polished rice. It's also called arborio. And it's a very simple dish to make, but it takes a while. Like a while. So for the larger shiitake mushrooms, these are an Asian favorite. Black mushrooms in Chinese food, or shiitake in Japanese food. So we're gonna cut these up into, I'm gonna cut them up into small squares. If you get really small with mushrooms, different types of mushrooms, you can do something called a duxelle. So these I'm going to cut once down the middle, and then I'm gonna do sort of this squaring off that we're seeing on the other ones. This is a giant one. It's almost the size of the shiitake. So I'm going to sort of do 3 cuts, and then I'm gonna do that. I might even do that. Okay, so this is pretty good. The recipe includes some dried porcinis that I've soaked in water. I put in the microwave for about 1:30 to get it hot. It's mushrooms, whatever you can find, porcini especially. It's garlic, it's shallot this time. I'm using Trader Joe's Pecorino Romano. It's the blue top. And then we're going with the arborio. You can use anything. I use the organics. Okay, so this is here, there, and those 2 ingredients, cheese at the end, some butter at the end, and some olive oil to cook these. So the order of operations here that I'm going to do is, first, I've got a pan going right now that I'm going to put some olive oil in, and I'm just going to cook off the mushrooms. We really want to put them in the last like 5 or 10 minutes of the stirring of the risotto. And that's not enough time to get the water out of these because these are like 80% water. So if we apply heat, oil, salt, and pepper right now, then we can saute it down, get the water out of it, get them much smaller, and then put them in as kind of a finish to the dish. We're at the point now, we're on the pans. This is the broth. It needs to be at a near boiling temperature because when you're gonna put it into the risotto, you don't wanna have to bring the whole thing up to temperature again. So it's really advantageous just to get it out of the way. I love olive oil. It's got what's called a low smoke point, which means it doesn't handle super hot pans really well. It will scorch and get weird. This might be out of the camera. No, you can see it. Huzzah. And they should start. Yeah, pan's hot. It's good. And of course, you know the deal. Oh, no, too high. It's going everywhere. So 6 inches off. I'm doing about 3 little things. It can be a salty dish because you're using a broth for all of it as you mix it into the rice. Okay, so what we're doing here, now I can go back up on the temperature. I'm a big fan of my Le Creuset stuff. It's basically cast iron that's enameled. You know, it just goes in the oven. It retains heat really well because it's cast iron inside. They hold up really well. I've only had 1 pan break, and it was my parents, and it was like 60 years old. So they're really resistant. They're great. So really, right now, we can add pepper. So we are not doing anything fancy with these. We're literally just cooking them down. So you can see it's getting a little browning. And the great thing about risotto, if I'm being honest, is you can put anything in a risotto. It goes great with asparagus, seafood. I've made breakfast risottos with bacon and scrambled eggs. You just pop those in at the end. It really does go with everything, which is sort of like the underlying theme of all of these cooking things, is that there's a few fundamental truths about cooking, techniques that you use for the basic dishes. Sauteing, frying, baking, braising. Okay, so these are done enough for me. The liquid's out, it's browned. I can pop this in at the end of a risotto and everything will be right with the world. Okay, I forgot to mention, for those of you playing at home, white wine is used in this as we do this. So I'm gonna fire back on. It can be kind of high right now. We're just getting things going. So olive oil. We're just gonna put our garlic and shallots into the pan. Now I'm just gonna give them a little bit of love. I'm gonna use a wood spoon for this. There's not a reason other than the silicone spoons that are my alternatives. This is rigid enough that I can, as it gets thick, I can start pulling it around, and some of the softer silicone top things will just kind of flop as you try and move. As usual, a little salt and pepper. It's the act of building flavors up. If every layer has a good flavor to it, then always going to be more delicious, more thorough, more thoroughly seasoned, and you're not just piling salt in at the end. So from here, we're gonna take the arborio. So I put my hand in, because I can. I got tiny little bird hands. One handful is one person serving. So you can make this for as many people as you want. That's 2 people, 3 people, and 4 people. It's about building flavors. It's about cooking the rice. That's Corbett Canyon. And now, this is the next half an hour to 40 minutes. Is going to be about stirring. Porcini, shiitake, cremini, and that's not even my final form. So if this broth is kept at a near boil, or the reason you have to keep stirring it is because the fire is kind of high. You can do a risotto in the oven. I am James. I cook. Did I mention you should subscribe to this channel? Someday you're gonna have a date. Someday this whole thing is gonna be over. And you're gonna wanna impress that girl or guy, ferret, zebra, yeah, whatever you're into. Better yet, someday you're just gonna have a box of arborio on your pantry, and you're gonna have some broth, some pecorino romano from Trader Joe's, and you're gonna be like, what do I make? What wildly specific thing am I gonna make? And then I'm gonna put tags in here for all those ingredients, so that when you go looking up arborio rice or stock rice cheese, you'll end up here learning how to stir for hours on end. It's a labor of love. A warm winter night, summer, on a cool winter night, this is an amazing dish. Which is why cooking it in the summer during a pandemic seems fraught. But hey, you'll have a recipe you can pull out of your back pocket on your phone, put it there and be like, in 12 minutes, this guy's gonna teach me how to make something awesome that I can make for my first date in a year and a half since the pandemic started. Or you can make it over Zoom. Oh, wouldn't that be cute? It's you and your date cooking away. You got your ring light, you got too many lights and things, and you're just talking, and you're like, hey, so today I didn't go out. I stayed in bed most of the day. And there's not a lot to do around here. It's kind of boring. I don't think my cat likes me anymore. It just looks at me and says, could be something like that. I don't act. I wanted to act. I wanted to be an actor. So it's funny. I don't have stage fright, but I'm also wildly unprepared. So You would think I'd be like the last person in the world that would want to get up on stage and just stand there like an idiot. I'm not. I'll do that. Third grade student body, student council, whatever it was. Whatever political thing they do in school. Why should you be president? James, stand up and tell us why. You should vote for me because I'm votable. You just gotta vote somebody. I mean, I believe in whatever it is you all believe in. So, I mean, you should vote for me. That was my student council unprepared speech from third grade. The likable kids won. I know that seems odd, but we've got a lot of time to kill. Once it starts thickening up on the bottom, it will burn like that. Never try and catch a falling knife. Hey, how about visual effects? So as you can see, I mean, it's increasing in volume. It's going to get to almost the top. We're going to use probably almost all of this broth. So this is best served when just finished. Eat it while it's hot. That's all I'm saying. It can sit on the stove for like an hour. As long as you put the top on, it's a nice warm sort of thing. You're totally fine. Totally fine. But once you refrigerate it, it turns into a congealed block of deliciousness that can be brought back. Again, you do not have to stir it the whole time. But if you walk away and burn it, don't come calling to me. You can really smell the porcini. It's really nice. 2 at a time, going crazy. I will shout out to my sister that got a tip from a northern Italian guy who suggested that you put heavy cream in a little bit at the end. And I told her, that sounds awesome. I'm not going to try it because that's not how I cook it. I'm not going to try it for you guys, you my friends, my internet friends. Oh, I was going to do a fake yawn, but now I'm doing a real one. Whew. It's a lot of work. And we're still stirring. I envy you, internet you. You don't have to stir this whole time. Labor. I mean, we've tripled our volume from what we put in, and now I'm going to start incorporating in our mushrooms. 1 or 2 more spoonfuls of broth to get this. Yeah, you hear it? It's getting too dry. That means we stop hearing that sound on the bottom, right? So we stop hearing that sizzle on the bottom. Okay, so we are now going to take the rest of it, import it. I've been doing this for easily 25 minutes. So this is home stretch. And then from here you cook it 3 hours more. I'm kidding. Yeah, this is pretty much it. So when this cooks down, when I get rid of most of this liquid, I'll drop in the, I'll turn it off, drop in the butter and cheese, turn it, and then put the top on it. And then we're just calling it done. Most of my videos don't actually include the plating part because it's the cooking part that's important. If you want to make something look fancy, that's sort of on you. People who don't cook a lot, or don't know specific recipes, or don't know specific styles of cooking, how that all works, how it all comes together. Like, what do you do? What are the steps to make a risotto? Well, you need liquid, preferably liquid that's already hot. Don't need to put anything in it. It can just literally be broth, chicken stock, beef stock, veggie stock. Kind of the sky's the limit. Pretty much every recipe that I've shown you so far has been one where you can just throw things into it. These are bases. Like, this is my delivery method for something else. This is my risotto is my delivery for asparagus, mushroom, shrimp, fish. Something like a salmon works really well. I've done a salmon risotto before. You cook the salmon ahead of time, probably to the more done range, like 134. If you're gonna do a sous vide, or, you know, just done. So it's tightened up. It's not too soft. I cook my fish in ranges of texture. So the salmon, you'd want to go pretty far down the rabbit hole of cooking it with some texture. And then you just break it up and you put it into this. That would be good with a fish stock or the water-based stock. Even chicken works. You can do chicken lemon. Ooh, a lemon risotto. Chicken lemon risotto would be amazing. Saffron risotto. Chicken, saffron. Oof. You hear that? I'm getting some, bottom of the pot's got some stuff stuck to it. And I've been stirring. Like this cast iron pan is gonna hold heat, so it's gonna keep boiling for a bit. And here we go. Time for the cheese. Just gonna have clean hands, handful of cheese. I just put that in there. I put in pepper. So let's fold this in. Big knob of butter. Not that much. I'm gonna take 2 of those. And then I'm gonna fold that in. Just fold it in. Nothing complicated. Keep it light. Fold it in. And because I don't do presentation, I'm gonna give it a little try. Well, I've gotcha. Still a little al dente. Super good. Really like it. All right, well, if you like my almost hour-long labor of love, it is risotto. Subscribe. You can like it because there's a lot of work here. Yeah, have a great night. Have a great day. Have a great existence. Stay in school. Unless you're like 30 or 50 and you're not going to school, then don't be a creep. Don't hang around schools. Toodles.